And that's when I realized this is what NAWIC is. NAWIC is a room full of people who are not afraid to say, come here, I want you to be part of this conversation. And ever since then, it's been that transition of, me saying to people, come on over, and I'm excited about that.
My Aunt Gina, being a union carpenter, she was like, you don't want to do that. Like, these men, they will, degrade you, they will say this, they will say that, but she really loved carpentry, and so she took that all in, but she didn't want that for me. She didn't want me to be subject to some of the things that were said to her, and so really, kind of advised against it, but I'd always have that construction, just that time with her and her teaching me those skills in my heart, and so I always felt like I would have belonged if I was there, just because I would hope that, her being a carpenter would have kind of paved the way. But from what, things I've heard today, it doesn't sound like it's changed all too much from when she was a carpenter 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, that culture change it's like everything that I try to do at the Michigan Women's Commission is, we're doing certain projects and driving policy, but it's all with the idea of culture change. Focusing on childcare, there's got to be a huge culture change around that and the importance of childcare. Focusing, now we're doing menopause, it's a movement conversations, and it's more about, because our governor, Gretchen Whitmer, wonderful woman governor, said, I want Michigan to be a leader in women's midlife health and menopause policy. Michigan Women's Commission, please drive that. So, but for us, it's more, I should say for me, it's more about the culture change, and for all of us to be able to talk about it openly and demand the care that we deserve. So everything that we do, it's like the culture, and this culture in the trades, numbers is going to help, and that's helping, but it's just, it's the big question of how do we change that.
I guess for me, I feel like feeling out of place is situational. I feel like I'm not completely out of it. It depends on where I'm at and what's going on. Sometimes I do feel like I'm not included in certain conversations or looked at based on a certain stereotype, coming from a different background and being a young project manager female. So a lot of times I feel like they base their judgment on facts that are not really facts. It's just the way I look, the way I sound. So I'm still experiencing it. I'm trying to figure out, a good way to handle it. A lot of times I feel like I am developing kind of like a way to handle it now more that I'm deeper into my career in this industry. But a lot of times I do come across really good people that actually say, you know what, let's hear what she has to say. They give me the space and the time to actually say what I have to say and say my piece, which I appreciate. And
I love that.
Yeah, and a lot of them are actually now they're teammates. I do have a really good team here at Turner, but in the past I didn't feel like I did, because they kind of brushed me, or they said, you have to follow my lead because I have more years of experience under my belt, so you got to listen to me. And we would be working on the same team, but that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, so here I feel like, I've knock on wood, but I've had good luck with having good teammates that actually give me the room to say what I need to say and respect it.
I love that, because it sounds like it's a company culture thing. You start from the top. And so, if you're building that culture, then you're building better employees and better coworkers and all around better people.
I just don't understand why we don't pay too much attention to culture. It doesn't cost you too much money to fix your culture or to strive towards building a better culture.
Zero tolerance that they were talking about on stage.
Yeah, and like I said, you don't necessarily have to spend a lot of money, or sometimes you don't even need to spend money at all. It's about just helping the people understand that we need to develop an inclusive environment, and that we need to have space for everybody who's on the team.
But I think that culture is shifting. I won't forget going into another industry association conference and just feeling so at peace, because I went in there feeling all nervous, like it's all going to be, this particular population, that I'm only going to see this particular population, and it was the opposite. There was lots of females, there was lots of folks that all, strong representation of our diverse industry. And it was like, oh, this is cool. And then being able to hear their voices and be in the rooms where they were talking to each other, holding space for each other. And it just made me realize, because these people, due to the advent of LinkedIn, social media, they're getting their voices out there more consistently. People are listening to them and elevating their contributions to the online community that we have, and that's so vibrant. I think there is a shift. I think it's just a matter of time and enthusiasm and the trickle down that we're starting to see. Because as with NAWIC being what it is, it gives us the opportunity to get in there and speak up and learn, I'm going to take this opportunity because I'm just a volunteer. I'm not getting paid for this, and give it a shot. And then either doors will open, or I'll be corrected, or I'll be encouraged. So I think it's definitely, like you said, people listening to you and elevating.
I'm the type of person that would like to set up a goal and then work towards it. I'm not saying that I have to reach that goal, next year or the next 10 years, even if it takes 20 years, whatever it takes, at least I have an end point that I'm working towards. And I would like to come up with a plan that I can use to get to that point. And first time I just felt like they were actually listening, and they said, all right, let's work on it.
So love that. I hope you were
Don't let them tell you to wait your turn.
Yeah. I hope you were like, I'm going to prove it to you.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for me, number one. Yeah, and that's what I care about the most, me and my family. And then whether people believe it or not, that is not at the top of my priority list.
Yeah. I remember my dad telling me, you're going to have to prove yourself to the instructors. Like, this is you and them, and you're going to get kicked back, and you're going to get, you might get, some rough words, but just stay the course. And then I realized, okay, so it's just, and it was just a matter of like, okay, what's the course? If I'm staying the course, I need to know my course and just let the emotions happen and keep moving forward. It's so inspiring that now strangers that I've only met through LinkedIn will come up, oh, hey, and it's like, that's so cool, because this is like the community that I've created. Like, this wasn't Bob creating it, this is my community. And just like that sense of, oh yeah, this is the time. This is where our industry is, and this is us women in construction advocating for each other, recognizing each other's strengths and what we bring to the table. I'm so excited.
I love it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've had so many mentors, and almost all of them women who just I just stand on their shoulders. So many.
Yeah. And then adding your own layer of excellence and work.
I feel like I have a lot of them on my shoulders, and I bring it up.